Hello my grooming friends and welcome back to Kitty Talks Dogs. Today it's all about Bouviers. So if you would like to see me groom a Bouvier for a show, keep on watching. This video is broken down in very nice chapters like doing nails, ears, washing, drying or styling. So feel free just to scroll down below and choose the chapter that you would like to see. If you like the content of this video, please don't forget to subscribe, so next time we have a new video, you will get a notification. If you have any questions or suggestions, please feel free to drop them down below and we will answer you. And I'm also very available on social media, so please don't hesitate to contact us. All the products I'm using in this video are just a click away. Down below there's a link where you will see all the products, and if you click on one of the products it's going to take you directly to the website. The Bouvier de Flandres has a special place in my heart because it comes from the same area I do. Bouvier de Flandres is bred in Vlaanderen, Bouvier de Flandres, and actually I'm also born in Flanders. So we have a lot of Bouvier de Flandres, and a Bouvier is actually a dog that was bred to herd cows, or actually a farm dog, a working farm dog, and has a fantastic temperament. The Bouvier de Flandres is known for its rugged appearance. It's a very strong dog, it has a lot of muscles, and it comes in many different colors. You have black, you have grey, you have pepper and salt, you have fawn, and you have the dark brown. If you want to have a nice Bouvier, you need to go to the groomer often, like ideally is every 2 months. If you have a Bouvier living in the house with the family, for sure every 2 months. If you have a farm dog living outside, maybe you can stretch it a bit. But a Bouvier really needs brushing like regularly. If not, because it's a double coat and there's a lot of wool in there, it will get matted. If you have a Bouvier living in the house, I do suggest having it washed like regularly, like I would say no longer than every 4 weeks, because a Bouvier, as it's a working dog, it does produce a lot of sebum, and you will see in a minute when I am grooming Selah that when I open the coat, Selah is like a black Bouvier, but if you open the coat you will see that there is like grey bits, and this is the sebum, and that's why I would recommend to wash the Bouvier like every 4 weeks if it's living in-house with the family. I'm very proud to have with us Selah today. Selah is a beautiful Bouvier. Her real name is Selah van de Bouvier. She's born in 2019 and she weighs 38 kilo. She lives with many Bouviers, and usually in the weekend they go to the Ardennes in Belgium to go walking, and she extremely likes to do that. Selah is owned by Salens and Anne Steele, and they have been in the Bouvier since 1985, and that's exactly how long I have known them. So we go back a very long time, and I'm just very proud that I can have Selah here to groom today and show you the whole process. Here, if you open up the coat, you see the coat is not like real black, it's like grayish, and this is all the sebum the dog was producing during the last month. Here you see it very well. It's like gray color, but you can see the skin is very clean and the skin is like blue color, so it's absolutely a very clean skin. But the dog needs a wash. And before we will wash, we will go over it. This is called a herdershak. It goes directly deep into the coat, and here you can already take some wool out before the bath. We hold it like 45 degrees. And as you can see here, this is a dog which is very well maintained and who doesn't really have mats or very much dead hair. So here you see how easy it is now. So most of the dead hair is out. And here you see how easy it is to remove the dead hair from the brush or from the comb, from the rake. You see it, the dead hair is like a very light color because it's like very soft and very woolly. Kitty Ponnet is going to help me with all her love and passion for our profession to prepare Selah for me. She's going to do the washing and she's going to explain everything about the shampoo and about the drying. Kitty, thank you very much.
So first we're going to do to clean the ear. There is not a lot of hair, there is some hairs in. It's not an infected ear, it's really a clean ear, but however we're going to clean the whole ear. First we start with pulling out the hairs, and once we did that we're going to clean the ear. I'm going to use the Showtek ear powder. Personally, I like to use the finger condoms because you have more grip on the hair and it's easy for pulling out. Going to do like this. So we are going to use those two fingers because those are the fingers where you have the most power in it and the most grip on it. So I'm going to use the Showtek ear powder. I'm just going to put some in the ear. I'm gonna put the powder everywhere so it's smooth and totally on all the hairs. And then I just take the points of the hair and I pull it out. I'm doing this very gently and very relaxed. You see, the dog is not responding on it, so it's actually, he doesn't feel it. And this is because you're using the powder. More powder in, do it like this. And I really take all the hair so it's clean. I'm going to use then the safety ear forceps. This is a forceps, but it's with rounded points, and because it's with rounded points you cannot hurt the dog.
These ear forceps are ideal for the hairs deep inside the ear that you can't get with your fingers, because your fingers are thick and but with these forceps you can go really deep down and pull out very easy the hairs from deep inside.
Then I use the ear care solution. So I'm putting off here. It's a little bit cold for the dog, but actually it's a relief and it's a good feeling from the moment you clean the ear. So I'm using a cotton bud to clean the ear. And actually with that product you really can clean the ear in every small corner and every detail of the ear. So it's clean and you're taking out all of the dirt. I'm using again the ear wipe to clean the entire ear. After cleaning the ears, we are going to do the nails. So I have all my equipment with me. I have, of course, the nail cutter. I'm going to use the large on the Bouvier. It's normal. I have the nail fix, so it's a styptic powder. It's a stop bleeding powder. Like you see it, I put it in the holder because it's very easy to use. And I am all having with me a paper. So when it starts to bleed, then I'm really fast to react. And I have the Showtech nail grinder to get the nail smooth and really short without bleeding. The nails already are very short. So of course it's a Bouvier, so it means he's walking around a lot outside. And mostly the larger breeds, not all of them, but have shorter nails because they are running around more outside. So I cannot cut too much or much. So I'm going to put off first the tip, because you see it's already very, very short. So I don't want to make it bleed. So I'm just cutting off the tips. And then actually I will use my nail grinder to get them very smooth. If you look into the paws of the dog and you put a line straight, the nails cannot come over the paw. Sometimes they have a larger bleeding line into the nails. So you start with first cutting a little bit, then you go shorter, but actually you feel it when you are against the blood. You will feel it, it's harder to cut, so then I actually stop. Because the Bouvier has larger nails, bigger nails, I'm taking off the plastic protection, so I just have the bit. So it's easy, for me it's easy to use, or more easier to use on a bigger nail. I'm taking off, cleaning off all the hair, so I just got the nail, putting on, and I really gently go around the nail, so you have a clean, rounded nail. So you see it's very smooth, like this one, this is, I did not do yet, and this one I did with the nail grinder, so you see it's really clean, there have no stitches coming out, it's actually a clean nail. So I go to the next one. It does not hurt the dog in any way, actually he doesn't feel it. If you come against the bloodline, he can do like this, so you know, okay, you have to stop. But next to that, the dog doesn't feel, and you got very nice shaped nails. Don't forget the nail on the inside of the front legs, like we call it the thumb, because this nail is actually not touching the ground when the dog is walking outside. So this will actually be normally the longest nail the dog has. So you just cut it, and then after cutting it, using again the nail grinder to use it, shape it, round it, and very smooth. So actually, I think it's a millimeter too short. So I have the perfect example for you when this happens. So you take a little napkin or towel, you clean it and you hold it. You take the nail fix. So actually this will stop the bleeding. So I take up off the napkin, it will bleed, and I will hold the nail. You hold it and you push it. And it's done. Don't clean it immediately. I don't like it to clean it immediately. You leave it, that's why you do it before bath. So if this happens, you can wash the dog afterwards. But if you clean it immediately, and even if you use something wet, like a wet napkin or a wipe, it will start again with bleeding. So leave it. The first thing you do is take a tissue or a wipe, you put it to absorb the blood, you take the nail fix, you hold it, so the nail fix powder stops the bleeding, and you push it. Don't rub it, just push it, hold it, and then it's done. Okay, so we are going to wash Selah the Bouvier. It's important that you clean the hair and the skin. So it's a lot of sebum, it's a lot of dirt. So therefore, I prefer to use as a first wash the Showtech Plus Super Clean 40. It's a deep cleaning shampoo, so it will absorb all that dirt and all the oils, and so we have a very clean coat afterwards. Then I'm going to use the Rise and Shine shampoo because it will add volume and it will give the coat strengthening and a shine, so it will be a very nice result because this Bouvier will be scissored, so the coat has to be a little bit of voluminous. It must be very, I have to have a lot of volume. Therefore, I'm also using the Rise and Shine conditioner. I will dilute this conditioner 1 to 20 because afterwards he has to be scissored, so it cannot be too much condition. So the coat must be really fluffy and easy to scissor and easy to handle and easy to shape. So that's why I will dilute the Rise and Shine conditioner. Actually, you can decide by yourself how much you can dilute it. You can dilute it up to 40, but my gut feeling, my feeling says I'm going to dilute it 1 to 20. If the coat is very dry and you have a wash in between, then you can use it pure or concentrated, but if you scissor it, I really recommend to dilute it. The first wash for Selah is with the Super Clean 40, and actually the shampoo is a very concentrated shampoo. It's a paste shampoo, so it's really not fluid, it's not liquid, it's really a paste shampoo. So you can dilute it up to 1 to 40, like the name says. So I take a tablespoon put it in a bowl. So this actually, the shampoo, the Super Clean 40, I diluted 1 to 40, but it's just for Selah. So if you have a grooming shop and you have more dogs a day, you can make in the morning a whole bucket of Super Clean 40, so you can wash the whole day and it's already diluted. So this is just for our Bouvier today, but you can make lots of more. And now it's important that you use, to dilute the shampoo, that you use hot water or luckily warm water. So you see the shampoo will dilute by himself in the hot water. And you take a foaming sponge and you can start to wash. I'm going to wetten the coat first, so I start always at the top. After that, so one side is wet now, so I can start washing one side. Of course, I always start at the top, at the back of the dog. So I take the foaming sponge in the Super Clean 40 shampoo and I bring the shampoo on to the coat. And from the moment the shampoo is on the coat, I use my 10 fingertips and I really, because it's a Bouvier, I really put some power and some strength and I really wash the skin. It's really important that the skin, there where the dirt is really washed well. You see all the dirt is coming off. I turn the dog and I leave the shampoo on the coat. So I do one side, I turn the dog, but I leave the shampoo on this side. In the meantime, I'm washing the other side. And then I rinse, and then it's my own structure because you have to give every product the time to do his work. I leave it on for 5 minutes. In the meantime, I do the other side. But if you rinse it first, you don't give the shampoo to absorb all the dirt. So leave it on and wash the other side. So it's really important that you take your time to wash the dog really good, especially if they are so dirty. Not every dog you have to take your time, but it's very important that you clean and that every dirt and everything is really off the skin and off the coat. Some people, sometimes you want to do it fast. But actually this is really important that everything is clean. And in the meantime, most of the dogs enjoy it. The last thing I always do is wash the head because to take care of the eyes, we know and we do as a professional groomer that you have to be aware that the shampoo or the conditioner or the products are not in the eyes. So I wash the head of the dog, very good, but that I immediately rinse. So that's why I keep it for the last, that the shampoo or the conditioner or the product you're using is not too long on the head. So Actually, with my hand, if I wash a dog's head, I put a V like this and I hold it before the eyes. So I keep the eyes closed and I prevent for taking shampoo or product or conditioner into the eyes. So then I wash the head with my other hand. I use my thumb and that's how I wash a dog's head. I take him and I put with my tongue and I massage it and scrub it like this. And I take my sponge for the beard, because with the Bouvier, actually this is maybe one of the most dirtiest places because of eating, drinking, walking outside, and they have a long beard. So I really clean this, actually the whole dog, but I focus myself to be aware that I really wash this very good. So I hold one side and I wash the other side. I hold one side and I wash the other side. So he really keeps his mouth closed and he does not start shaking or turning his head. If there is some shampoo in the eyes, it can happen, and it happened with all of us. It's not really bad. The first thing you really need to do is immediately rinse it. And that's the most important thing. If the dog turns his head or shake his head and it's in the eyes, that you already rinsed it immediately. Okay, we start rinsing first of all the head. So again, I'm holding my hand before the eyes, and if it's possible, I put the head a little bit higher. If it's possible. The dog is totally rinsed, so we need to be sure everything, every piece of the body is rinsed well before we are using the next shampoo. So all the dirt is off, the shampoo is off, so we have a clean coat, we have a clean skin to put on the second shampoo. So the second shampoo will do his work perfectly if it comes to a clean coat and skin. So for the second shampoo, we are using the Rise and Shine shampoo from Showtex Plus, and it has to be diluted 1:35. So it means 1 part of shampoo, 35 parts of warm water. We recommend always to use warm water if you dilute the shampoo, so it will activate the ingredients, and it's more nicer for the dog than it's cold water. So the first thing I will do, so actually you see here 32, it's that line. So I will fill until that line warm water. Actually it's 35, but we don't have a line. So this is my line. So I will put some more water out. Just a little bit more. And you see you have water till that line. And now I will fill up until the shampoo and the water is still the full line. So it's really important that you dilute a shampoo very well. If you dilute it, if it's recommended 1 to 35 and you dilute it 1 to 10, it can cause maybe some skin irritation on your own hands because it's pure ingredients, and that's why it's so important to dilute it well and shake it well. So now you have a whole liter of ready-to-use shampoo. I start washing the dog on the back. I do the same like I did with the first wash. And you see immediately it's giving a nice foam, a nice lather. And you massage it really deeply into the coat. Again, I'm using my fingertips to wash the skin. Because this is the second wash, you see the foam, the lather is coming off, stays white. So the first wash, it was really a brown, grey, dirty foam, because the shampoo, the Super Clean 40 we used, is to absorb all the dirt. So the first wash was really a dirty wash, all the dirt came off. Now the second wash, with the volume shampoo, with the Rise and Shine shampoo, it's actually to put the coat in the shape you want. So he doesn't have to clean, he really does have to do his job, for it's designed to give volume. So it's so important that you always do 2 washes, because 1 wash cannot clean and put the coat in the perfect shape. So after using the Rise and Shine shampoo, we are going to use the Rise and Shine conditioner. Why this conditioner? Well, this conditioner will add volume to the coat, it will revitalize the coat, and it will moisturize also the coat. We're going to dilute this conditioner 1 to 20. So because the coat needs to be scissored, we don't use it pure. We don't use it pure because the coat has to be light, like feather light, and very light to shape. So if you use a conditioner, then pure or concentrated, it's perfect, but not for when you scissor it. So we are going to dilute this conditioner 1 to 20. So we fill the line till 20, and then we put conditioner till the full line. It's really important if you dilute a conditioner that you always use warm water. Don't use cold water to dilute a conditioner, but always use warm water. Not hot, but warm. And shake well. So you're really going to mix like a cocktail the conditioner with the warm water. And you have a full bottle of conditioner ready to use. I sprinkle the conditioner on the coat. and use my hands again to put the conditioner on every hair, on every piece. It's really important that if the conditioner is on the dog, that you leave it at least for 5 minutes. So as the last part, again, the head. And I'm now, because the conditioner has to stay on for 5 minutes, I'm really taking care of the eyes because I don't want to rinse it. So I make that the conditioner is not near around the eyes, but just on the beard of the dog. So 5 minutes have passed and the dog is totally relaxed, enjoying this treatment. And we are going to rinse everything out. So again, it's really important that you use your hands, that you use the power of the water to get all the conditioner that is not absorbed by the coat to rinse it out. Because a conditioner is not foaming, you don't see if it's rinsed very good or not, but you feel. When the coat is still sticky, when the coat sticks together, it's not enough rinse. So you don't see it, you just feel it with your hands. And when you think it's enough, that you rinsed well, give yourself 20 seconds more to rinse it perfectly. The wash is done, everything is really clean, so we are going to start drying the coat. The first thing is really using a blaster. It's really the first thing you do, and then afterwards we are going to brush and comb the coat. So how more powerful, how more volume your blaster has, the more quicker it goes. So this is the first thing. We are going to blow out most of the water, like for 70%, and then we will start brushing. I'm using the Canine water blaster because for me this is one of the most powerful blasters on the professional market. So next to that I'm starting at the back to blow out all of the water, the most of the water, because water comes from upwards to downwards, so I start always on the highest point of the dog. Then I go to the sides and I really take my time to blow out all of the water. It's really important that you blow out the coat. Here you see me moving the dog from the basket onto the table. So after we use the blaster, we are going to brush the coat and we use a stand dryer. And we are going to use the Yento Mega Pin Slicker because the dog has no mats, but it has to be really good brushed out. So every hair is separate, and I really love to use that brush. And we are going to use the Sentinel Heavy Duty Comb. It's for combing out the undercoat and eventually some mats. So I know he has some mats in his beard, not a lot, but some. So to comb this out, we will use the Sentinel Heavy Duty Comb. So I'm using the Speedy Stand Dryer. I love this dryer. And I'm going to brush out the coat. So I start on the back and then I go to the legs. I always hold the same structure to brush out the dog. I always start at the back, then I go to the back legs, I go to the side and I take the front side. As you see here, I have a mat, so I'm using the Sentinel heavy duty comb to comb out this little mat between the toes. So actually the comb is dividing the knot, the mat, into different parts. So because it's dividing, it's really easy to brush out and the mat is gone. So it's actually a very efficient and very heavy comb. Because this is a show dog, the dog doesn't have a lot of mats or knots in the coat. He's really has a good maintenance. Just in the beard here and there you see me brushing out some little mats. So I'm using the comb first. I'm using the comb to divide the knots. And from the moment I have little pieces of the mat, I'm taking the Yento slicker, the Mega Pen slicker, and it's very easy then to brush out. So you have to look and you have to search for the best way and the best structure to using the tools on the most efficient way. So as you see here, I'm just coming out and I just pull a little bit of the mat out and it's coming easily out. So it's taking some time and you have to be very gentle with it, but from the moment you got the knot, it's easy to brush out. It's really important that you start from the skin and you comb until the hair points. So actually you are checking if every mat, every tangle is out. When you're stuck in the coat and you start from the skin, it means the dog or has too much undercoat or still have tangles. So this is the last checkup before scissoring to check if all the mats are out of the coat. So like here, when you're stuck, I'm stuck, it means a small tangle. Look, it's really a small one. It's still in the coat. I'm stuck. So I'm stuck here. I really have to pull it. I don't do this because it will hurt the dog. So I take the Sentinel heavy duty comb because this is another comb. It's really a comb to demat. Look. It's just coming out. And then I check again. And I have the last pieces of the mat, and now I just can comb through. If you want to brush the inside of this leg, you stand in the opposite way. You take the tail with the back leg, like this. You let him rest on this leg. And then you can brush. You see what you're doing. It's not behind the corner. You really can see what you are doing. You brush. Do it like this. You probably don't see it. Or you have to hold the back leg way too high. So it's really uncomfortable for the dog. You feel like he's really pulling his leg from stop. So if you do it like this, you actually don't see it and it's way too high for a larger breed, for his hips and his back leg. So you just put it like this and you brush on the opposite way. So if I want to brush that inside, I stand on the other way. vriendinnetje. C'est un mot.
So now Selah is washed, and I'm very thankful to Kitty Ponnet. She helped us to prepare Selah, and as you can see, it's a beautiful, very well done. There's not one single piece of sebum left. The coat is everywhere, as black as it can be, and it's like it had a color change, and that's just because all the sebum is gone, and it's all very beautiful and fluffy, and now the coat is totally ready to be scissored, actually, because all the wool's gone. There's like not much wool left in there, and I would only start stripping if there is a lot of wool, but today it's really not necessary, so today we will be scissoring. Yes, Selena. First thing I'm gonna do is the feet, because before the bath Selah was very dirty and we didn't really want to do the feet. It was also wet, and it's really nicer to do it afterwards. Today I'm using the Laguna. The Laguna is a very good clipper. It has many different blades, and today for the feet I'm using the medium blade. Here you see the Laguna's teeth, and as you can see they're very close to each other. They're very narrow and the blade is very rounded. That makes this blade very, very safe for little sensitive paws and go between shaving them. So I'm just gonna lift up the foot and slightly go over the pads. You don't need to go in the pads, you just need to clean up all the coat which is coming out. And here on the nails, I'm going also already a bit on the outside. That means with the scissor work, I'm going to save some time. And now here on the back, I'm just going to take this line and go slightly up. Actually, I didn't follow the skin because now you can see there's still a lot of hair here, but I use the clipper as a scissor. So I'm just gonna go on the outside, and as you can see this blade is extremely sharp. I'm actually using the clipper as a scissor. So even here I'm taking off the tips. I'm not following the skin. And because I'm doing this, I will have less work with the scissors. Here as well, on the sides. This hair here is like protecting the pads and between the pads from dirt and cold, and we need that hair there to protect. So the only thing we need is to see the pads when they are like walking and they are doing that, so it's just as clean as possible. So here too, I'm following just the hairs which are sticking out. I'm not really going into the pads. So here I'm like going from outside. I'm using the clipper as scissors now because I'm gently going over the outside hairs. Okay, this is also with the medium, and with the medium blade the size is all the way up, That way I'm gonna do the ears. And I'm always gonna go like on the outside, and I'm always gonna like go in. I'm gonna have the ear, and I'm gonna like guide the points of the ear with my fingers. So I'm always gonna do that kind of thing, and at the ends I'm gonna like go over, and then also on the other side gently I'm gonna shave on my finger. Here as well, I'm gonna always go to the outside, and I'm shaving on my finger. Oops. What's easy and what's actually fun about this clipper is when you hold the clipper, you hold it in your fingers and you don't like put it in your hand. And because you hold it on your fingers, you have like a lot of feeling and you can shave like very nicely. I wouldn't advise doing this like a few days before the show, or use a longer blade, and that would make after a week the hair to be like natural coming back and not having to have like a fresh shaved look. After a week there would be like a natural growth again and it would look nice. So let me just explain to you how easy it is to use. These attachment combs are actually wonderful. There's a arrow here, this is 12 millimeters, and on the other way it's 9 millimeters. So it's like very easy. You just click it on, and if you want to use the other side, just click it off, turn it around and click on the other side. And here we don't go very far. We make like the head like quite flat, but we keep the frown here as long as possible. We also don't go behind the point, this point here. We go until there, and the rest I will do with the scissors from there. I can actually also go a bit shorter. And here immediately you see that I've put some shoulder in, and here's some chest, so now this is getting a bit of line. So for this part I'm using the Yento Sparkle scissors, and I like those scissors very much because they have a very good curve to them. And they are very smooth. When they open and close, they don't have any resistance to them, and they're strong. They are AUS steel, and They're also very light to hold, and that's why I like those very much. So now I'm just gonna hold my scissor like horizontal and make the tour. And comb everything down. The only thing we do is we repeat this a few times. We take all the hairs, we put them down, and we go just round and round around the feet. So what we're trying to do here is create like a straight line here, and we are avoiding this kind of scenario where the feet goes in and then he comes out. So we are trying to create a line which is straight, and we are trying to go as close as possible to the two front nails to do this. So we are combing and then like going over, and as you can see here, you see the two nails, and I'm trying to go as close as possible to these nails, and then that's our starting point to make a round foot. So as you can see, this is a bottle, and when you are standing, when the camera is that view, you only see these two lines, and still it's round. So the way I make the round paws is when I'm standing here from my perspective view, I work on these lines here, and I preferably go with a long scissor with a lot of long blade, and I do this, and here I do that. Every time I scissor, I have a lot of hairs. If I use this kind of scissor with a small blade, it means that I have to do like 6-7 times. For this one, I do 1 and 2, and I have a lot of hair to cut because the scissors have a long blade. Using scissor blades depends on your hands. Sometimes it's better to use a smaller scissor and to have a fixed hand, so the finishing is nice. I personally like to use the long blade to start with, and then I will finish up with, for example, today I used the chunger for finishing up, and as it's curved, I made it very curved, and sometimes I was using this side to scissor straight, so that's all possible. What's very important is the way you see. If I want to scissor here, I can't do that. I have to come and stand here and scissor these two lines. If I want to scissor here, I'm going to do that. So what you see me doing is I'm having a line, I'm going to do this, but then to do this I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to do that, and while I'm here I'm going to do that side, then I'm going to do that and that side, and I keep on like grooming to the profile. And here you just have to keep on combing and laying the coat wherever, pulling the coat with the comb in all kind of directions, so you're sure you have all the coat in the same length. And if that means like pulling it to back or to the front or even upwards, you just have to keep on combing until you have all the hairs in a certain direction and you've cut out the points to style the dog. So now you see this is scooped out, and you see a chest here, and we just need to make sure that this part is not too wide. Here you can actually lift up the comb, but you don't have to. You can just comb it all down, even scissoring this way. And here you see me using the scissor over comb technique. As you can see, the scissor over comb technique is just lifting up the hair and scissoring over the comb. And in this case, I'm using like a curved comb, and this is a good reason, because the curved comb goes fantastic with the curved scissor, and the curved back or body from the dog is also curved. So all these three combinations work very well to be very efficient, because when you only are using the comb and it's a straight comb on a curved body, you can only like scissor a small part, but if you have a curved comb and a curved scissor, you can scissor very large areas. So while scissoring, you have to be very careful, because like here, Selah has not long time had babies, and she has very big nipples. So actually, in this case, it's safer to like shave, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. This is 12 millimeter. And with this little pin, I'm going to go in here, because there's a hole. I'm going to hold it and then click it on. And here I can just go very slowly and safely to the tummy. When scissoring and finishing, I like to use the quick fix spray, because when you spray it, it will create like it will like humify the coat, and you will see the points better, and also the points will stand up more better. But the quick fix from Showtech Plus has a spray to it like for dematting, and I will show you what I want to say when I spray it. I'm only going to use this bottle, because it's I need like a very fine mist. Now I'm just gonna mist over the hair I already did, and then I will comb, and you will see like small hairs coming out, and it's easier to finish. So here I'm just not trying to touch the top line yet, because this is like, this part I will do last. I first have to build everything up from downwards up, and then have a nice look at the dog and make it like square, short and looking strong. But mainly now I need to make sure that both legs are the same in the front, so then we can take the further step. To do the head, it's a bit dangerous, so me, myself, I always like to lift the eyebrows so I see where I'm cutting, and that's exactly what I'm showing you here. But the frown needs to stay as long as possible. I just like cut when I lift it until halfway the eye, and the rest of the frown I leave as long as possible. Go ahead then. So here you see me scissoring the head. I'm like combing the hair in all kind of directions, because what's not nice is when you have like the short hair and suddenly very long hair. I like to have like a short, a bit longer, so you don't really see lines. I also like to have it very natural. And now you see me combing the frown on top of the nose and just making sure the hair from the frown is not like over the nose. And for me personally, I also like to see the nose. If it's all in front, all the hair in front, you don't really see the nose. And for a Bouvier, it's one of the things I really like to see the nose. So now the nose is nice free. I have this part like done. I have a bit taken off here, I've made the eyes, so now I know the dog starts here. This is the shoulder. Now I need to do the back part, because here I have like one thing and this is like very backwards. I want to take this to the front, so actually here, this part, actually where I have my hand, I want to have it shorter. So here you see the teeth from the blade. It's 12 millimeter, it's a 3F, but what's important for you to know is that these teeth are very narrow to each other. So if you do sensitive areas and like nipples, you can't hurt them because they're very rounded and the teeth are very narrow, so it's absolutely very safe to do the sensitive areas. So for me, it's much safer to use the clipper than it is to start scissoring, because I'm always very afraid of hurting the nipples. What did I actually do? I created here the tummy. So this is now going downwards to the chest. So here I have the chest, and this is like one piece. I'm having a very fine blade, and because these hairs are really on my list to be very annoying, I'm just gonna go around them with a very fine blade. So again here you see me using this clipper as a scissor, because if you have to like scissor around this nipple, it's very difficult. Now let's just do the back part. I haven't touched this area yet, but it's very short, but that's okay. And then actually you would create just a little bit more coat here and then go straight down to the hock. You can see I'm using the comb again to lift up the coat, and if you see the dog from the side, it really needs to have the rounded bum, and here I can show you the drawing of the lines, and here exactly you see the style it needs to have after scissoring. So here we're trying to, when the tail is lifted, this is like the shortest point, and here then we try to find like the bone, and this is like where you keep some hair or you build some hair here. So here we needed a bit more, yes, like that, and then we go all the way down to the hook. Here. So we do that in and out. When we've done the shaving work correctly, there's not a lot of work to do, then we can just go in, go around. And now here I'm just gonna go short here, and then all that hair on the same line here. I'm gonna like put my scissor in here at the back. Here you can see behind the pad, I put my scissor here and I went straight up. So now here it's short here. So here again we are trying to create the 45 degree like this, and this is like also going to shorten the dog. So we keep this wide, so you know, you remember the Bouvier needs to be strong, so it's not like we're gonna cut this hair. No, we keep it from the side, and we're trying to keep the width, so it's a big, strong, muscle bump. And now actually we take this leg, we make sure that it has a nice rounding here, and then we try to create some hair here, which in Selah's case is a bit short. So here, yeah, we are missing a bit of coat. So on the other side I did it with a chunker, but it's totally possible you do it with the straight scissors. If you do it with the straight scissors, the only thing you need to do is comb and brush, or comb and scissor, and repeat. The back part, that part, and that part can be quite short. Especially here, so when I touch this hair here, there's like nothing. But then to the sides, or when I comb it down, I'm just gonna neaten it up and not really make it very short. And then it's important when you hold the tail like this, like horizontal, that you don't go in here. So here, yes, here you can shorten it up. But it's not like you can do that. So now we're coming to the last part, which is the most important part for me. It's the top line. And the top line needs to be a fluent line. It can't go like that and then like that. It can also start here and go up. Of course, it's also a little personal, but I like a nice fluent top line. So I normally would hold the tail horizontal and then slowly do the parts which are sticking out. And I'm careful not to go with the scissor here without holding the tail where I would like to have the tail. So here, yes. If it's in line with the whole line, it's fine to scissor there and to go a little shorter. You can perfectly use the curved comb with the curved scissor. With the hair, you can lift up the coat and scissor like this. But you can also perfectly lift up the coat like this and go over the coat. Of course, here we have to keep on watching the top line. So now I have the opinion that here it's too long, and therefore I can just go make it shorter. Or you can go from the back, from the front, and go backwards. And if you are doubting to use the straight scissor, you can use the chunker. Sometimes it's easier to use a chunker. What is important is that the dog is nicely stacked, and here you like hold the dog and you keep on combing the coat in all kind of direction, and it's only then you will see what you are doing. Use some quick fix, and now when you will comb, the hair will stick up better and you will see the points, and then you will exactly see where to scissor. Also, another important thing, when I want to do this line, if I look here I won't see it, so I really need to do this line and then go around the dog. And to do here, I'm going to come here and like go here. Voila. So here now I'm holding the tip of the tail with my thumb and finger so I don't hurt it. And I'm just going to make sure it doesn't look longer as it already is. Voila. Maybe I need to do that once more. Okay. I'm just cutting off the points on the sides. And here you see me using the Texture It powder together with the powder puffer. This volumizer, texturizer will give me the right hair, so it's gonna stand up and feel thicker, feel more texturized, and it's gonna give me a very nice end result. And I will be able like to fluff up the top line and it will be more standing up, and therefore I can style better the top line. And here you see me scissoring, just lifting up the coat and just scissoring down the points. It's important to, when you do the top line, to stand from a distance, to have a look, to stop what you're doing, to stack the dog nicely, and to keep on working so you don't have a dip and it's a nice fluent top line.
and I will have to stop myself, or I will keep fiddling for another 10 minutes. Here you see a finished Selah. I've tried to keep a bit of her top line, and with the powder it's like easier to get the hair a bit straight. So now here you see the top line and you see a nice straight back. Selah, you're done! You've been a very, 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 very good girl. And I see your eyes now. She's been amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you, Kurt, the breeder, for letting me scissor and groom Selena. She's an amazing dog. She's beautiful. She's been standing still like a statue. And actually, she can come anytime. That is how easy she was. I've enjoyed grooming her very much. And I'm very happy about how she improved. Selah. Selah. Eh? Yeah. Here you see the before and the after pictures from Selah. As you can see, there's quite a good difference. I hope you liked this video as much as I enjoyed grooming Selah. Thank you very much for watching. This was Kitty for Kitty Talks Dogs. Please enjoy grooming. The more you groom, the better you will get. Take your time and groom as much as possible, because the more you groom, the better you will get.